Hello and welcome to another Ask Cheeky. I'm Isaiah Henkel with Cheeky Scientist. Today's question comes from Nareen Kanu. How can I make the interview process less scary? Great question. We get this question quite a bit. Going on your first interview, especially a site visit where you might be interviewed 4, 5, up to 10 different times. Yes, it happens quite a bit, especially for PhD level positions where you're going to be getting paid very well for doing meaningful work. They need to ensure that you are a good fit for the company. And this creates pressure. Now, the first thing that you can do to relieve that pressure is to prepare. This means that you want to spend the better part of a day, the day before the site visit, learning everything you can about that company. The more you learn about the company, the people at the company, which is much easier to do today than it was 10, 20 years ago, the better position you're going to be in. Now you can go on LinkedIn. You can learn about the company's hierarchy, the structure. You can look at the job titles, look at the profiles of the individual people there. You can likely find out the people who are going to be interviewing you. You can do all of this intel. You can leverage one of your biggest strengths as a PhD, your ability to collect information and data, research. So use it. The more prepared you are, the more you understand about that company, not just in the weeds, okay? Not just looking at the trees. Don't focus on what they're doing technically. Don't focus on just the technical aspect, the day-to-day aspect. Zoom out. What bigger things have been happening with that business? What recent mergers and acquisitions? Have they been restructuring? Is there a new product coming out? Very likely, something is going on internally or externally that has created the job opening in the first place. Do you know why this position is even available? Find that out. Learn everything that you can. Do not put this off. Study it as intensely. Study that company as intensely as you would any aspect of your thesis, any aspect of the field that's related to a paper you're putting together or trying to put together in academia. Very, very important to do. Number 2, make sure that you are prepared to ask questions during the interview. See this as a chance for you to interview them. You're not being interviewed. You're not trying to prove yourself. You're interviewing them. You're making them sell themselves to you. Now, if this is your first industry job, if you focus on any limitations that you think you have as a PhD, it can be hard to get into this mindset. So what you need to do is realize, especially right now, the hiring market is higher than it's ever been before. The unemployment rate is very, very low worldwide. More PhDs are being hired than ever before. There's over now a 2,000% increase in the hiring of PhDs. You are very valuable. They need to hire you. They need to convince you to work for them. So come with a list of questions and make them business-oriented questions. Again, not just technical questions. Ask them what's going on in the business. What are their 1-year corporate goals, their 5-year corporate goals? Take the research that you've done, the stuff that's listed online, and dig in a little bit deeper. Like maybe it says something very generic in terms of their company values and mission statement. Say, well, what does that mean for this department? What does that mean for this role? What's the company culture like here? What's a time when you hired somebody who did a really good job of fitting themselves into the company culture? Where do people in this position usually go? Ask questions about career trajectory. Ask questions about hierarchy, mergers, acquisitions, all the stuff that you should have just done research for, which was the first point. The third point is have fun, but realize that you're always on, okay? They might have cameras on the parking lot and might be recording you when you get out of the car. Seriously, they might want to see how you interact with the receptionist. They will very likely ask questions to the receptionist about who came in, how they responded, were they polite, etc. You can tell a lot about a person, about how they interact with people on the way to interacting with the people they think are really important. All right, so it's kind of like how you treat a waiter or a waitress, or how you see somebody else treat a waiter or a waitress says a lot about them. So make sure that you're always on, so to speak, but enjoy yourself. Be personable. Don't let anything stress you out. They're going to ask you behavioral interview questions to stress you a little bit, to see how you respond to stress. Don't get defensive. Don't ever blame anybody else, a past boss, a colleague, etc. Take responsibility for everything. That's your key to handling those questions well and to not getting defensive. Don't be surprised by anything. Stay calm. Listen intently. And then take responsibility and turn everything into a story about how you overcame a challenge and are better off because of it, how you learned from it, and how you achieved a result that helped a team or an organization. So that's the best way to stay calm. A lot of it comes down to research and your approach. Hopefully this helps you. As always, remember your value as a PhD and start thinking and acting like a successful industry professional.